177, where I'm actually playing a bit of Forza before we begin, before we get into things, if you want to join. Been mucking around in the new Forza 6. Been buying all and doing all the cars that are, basically cars that were on Top Gear. Some of the crazier challenge ones. I'm currently mucking around with the Jeremy Clarkson's Sports Ambulance. If you buy if you buy a Porsche 944, you can get the livery for it. But yeah, welcome to the stream. So today being a Saturday, of course, I am going to try to give you a longer stream than what I can give you sometimes. There's normally music in this game, by the way, but it is turned off for, basically the obvious reasons. But let's go chill on the beanbag that I've now been using for gaming. I think I've completely, at this point, just phased out using the chair, but yeah. I'm actually going to bring you guys down my way. So, I'm just coming sitting here and just chilling, doing this until, we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll get, so we're planning really in this stream to get a lot of shelving stuff finally finished, or as close to finished as we can get. Realistically, so today's the 4th of July, right? I'm aiming to be able to do the room tour stuff and get all that worked out by roughly, I'm aiming for the 20th of July for that release. Is that a doable date? Well, it is and it isn't. Alright, it's going to require quite a bit of effort to get us there, but I believe that it can be done. This car is unmodified, the engine is just a livery, it looks like the Top Gear, and I tell you, this car is quite fun to drive without modifying it. I've not really been modifying too many of the cars. I've got 1 or 2 cars in this game. This is rare that I get sucked into a brand new game that's come out this much, but I've been enjoying myself. But yeah, so we're basically just, I'm planning to be live for 2 hours or so, give or take. That's charged up the phone and stuff so that we can achieve that goal. I do have work tomorrow and I am working like a good majority of the day, so I don't plan to be live late, but I'm planning to be live long enough that we can get a lot of stuff done. See, I've looked at my work schedule for the upcoming week and it's pretty much, hey, I'm going to be getting home at like 11 at night. I appreciate that, man, thanks. So I'll be getting home at like 11 at night, but once I get in, have a snack, it's like half 11 at night. So last night, I could have done a live stream during the day yesterday, that could have happened, but by the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing while I'm talking, I'm playing the Forza 6. Basically, I went live, right? I waited till that time to trial it and go, well, if I go live at this time of night, will people join in, will people engage, will people watch, or is it a waste of time doing it at that time of night? Went perfectly well. Scotland. But no, basically I thought, right, we'll try and do a stream at half 11 just as a test to see if it would work. It worked, so I'm now going to potentially be able to bring back the daily streams that we were doing prior to me, doing the whole job change and all that kind of stuff. So in a moment or two, we're going to break out the boxes and we're just going to get back to what we have been doing on these streams. How many streams have I said that where I've started the stream playing a video game and then it ends up being half the stream ends up being me gaming? But fair enough. Well done. So I'm just gonna, in a moment we'll get going with this, but the display behind me is looking quite good. We are getting it roughly where I want it to be. I have no complaints with that whatsoever. So in this stream it'll just be continuous minifigure organizing. The last stream where we did get anything done, we were primarily reorganizing that bottom shelf of the corner Ivor stuff, because that bottom shelf, let's be honest, is just a storage shelf, and it did look quite a mess, so I actually got all that sorted. I'm aiming for by Wednesday, right, so this is just a goal, like, look, this could not happen. Have I got a Lego car? I suppose we should answer this question. I do have a couple, but they're not, like, proper cars. So I've got the big DeLorean from 2022, I've got the small one from this year, And if you really want to count it, I have the mystery machine there. So I suppose you could count those. But yeah, by the way, one thing we were talking about in the previous streams, I've started to use a beanbag for gaming on rather than that camping chair, right? And yeah, trust me, I'm a big Lego collector. You can see a lot of it behind me. Mostly retro Star Wars stuff is what I end up buying. Oh, we're drifting. This car does like to slide its back end out. I've noticed that. The car I'm driving in the game right now, it's that Forza 6 that came out I think last month. First modern game, right? You know what? I mostly play what you would call, I suppose, yeah, it would be considered retro now in terms of what games I play. But this is one of those few games I've come out in the last years where I've looked at it and went, I want to play. In fact, I upgraded my console just to play this because I've played 4 and 5 quite a bit recently. And the car I'm driving is it's a Porsche 944. And I've been, yeah. Other players will occasionally ram you in the side and cause you to spin out, as I'm currently doing. But yeah, give me a second. I'm just finishing this little run. There's little things on the map, right? And it's these little... It's all statues, right, in the different regions, because this game is set in Japan as the main map, and you drive and you smash them, and you get money and whatnot. Plus, I get the achievement for exploring the map, which is, to be fair, I've been working on these collectible things and just getting the cars from Top Gear more than I have actually been doing races, but I've been like building race cars and stuff in the game, so it has been a good amount of fun. You can hear the sat nav telling me where to go. Turn left.
Turn right.
You didn't tell me to turn right there, and there's a right turn.
Turn left.
There you go.
Turn left.
Right, nearly there, and once I get this last statue, we are going to jump into doing what I said we were going to do. Oh, it's this little jump. This is fun.
In 400 meters, turn left.
Yeah, I better brake. I'm going about 100, and I've got to turn around.
Turn left. In 200 meters, turn
In the
right.
plums. But yeah, the room tour, like I said, 20th of July is when so in 16 days time is roughly when I'm looking to have that come out, which would be great. The video will be like probably a 30-minute minimum video. It will be a long video because I'm not just planning to go, here's the shelves and then that's it. I'm planning to like go in full detail, show just about everything we can show and make it a really good one. And there's that statue.
You've arrived at your destination.
And how did I get in there? That's all opening here. There we go. So it's funny, the car that I've managed to get from Top Gear in this game is the Porsche 944 Ambulance, and is that one where they're having to do like the whole test on, you know, can you get a patient to a fake hospital, like one of their more interesting episodes. And when I see this car, it's that clip where Jeremy Clarkson puts down the ram, and he's got Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper on as the quote reassuring music for the pretend dying person in his ambulance. It's kind of funny. Right, so that's the statue done, and yeah. We're going to get on to Legos. I'm just going to turn this off. But yeah, like I said, this stream is going to be the stream where I finally get enough stuff done, or a good chunk of it done, because the last week we've been focusing on getting this display the way I want it, and look, I love how this looks. The only issue is I'm sitting on the beanbag, which we got here, is trying not to lean back and smash my whole body off of it. So I've got to look at some of the achievements. Because I've got quite a match actually. I've been playing this for about 2 days. Like, 4 or 6 was the whole reason I went out and bought this. Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you? Checking the achievements that I'm currently working towards. Collect 100 different cars. I've got 12% on that, so maybe I'll focus on that one later after the stream. See, annoyingly, a Sunday shift is the slightly more annoying one to do because I have to be there for 12:30, so I can stay up late, but not as late as I can any other time gaming. But anyway, let's get that turned off. So for my own sanity, during these streams, I have just been taking the beanbag and throwing it on the chair, because I'm finding that's what works best in terms of not getting in the way. So we're going to be focusing on getting stuff done with this. Now, there is the matter of the corner shelf, which that's never... See, for the last 3 months, it's been almost 3 months since I moved the room around like this. During those 3 months, we have never had nice looking all the shelves. I'll admit, this is... I don't know why this one's neglected, because see when you walk in the room from here, this is the first thing you see, so I really should have that one looking there. It's there. But we've got the box here of minifigures and stuff. We're just going to go through them. In this stream, I do not plan to focus whatsoever on the damaged minifigures. I say damaged ones that need like bits put back on them, which all parts are in here. People seem to think it's a haul video kind of thing that I'm doing. It's not quite that. I do, however, want to know what I did with the TV remote, because it's me and I misplaced stuff. Oh, welcome to the stream. We're very disorganized if you didn't figure that one out. But, yeah, 1 second to locate this. What I usually do in these streams, right, is I put on a YouTuber in the background who's copyright free. Because also, you guys get to hear me talking, but I like to have the background noise occasionally. But, yeah, essentially, here's where we're at. So this shelf... looking great, right? Really happy with how this looks. Granted, this bottom bit with all the Hoth stuff, there's a few sets on here that need parts put back on, which I am going to aim to do. Maybe not in this stream specifically, but coming up. For example, Slave 1 does need another cannon. That would be an example of one. It's the main one. I think I need to put some parts back on the skiff. Those are the... I'm actually looking around to see if there's anything else I can think of that is missing parts. Other than I would have to fix the 2012 X-Wing, we are pretty much sorted on all that. So I've got the box of minifigures, I've tipped it out. We're going to go through them. I'll show off some cool ones, or I'm looking to get through every figure in that box that can go straight on the shelf. Now, I've been trying to remember if I already went through and did that. I don't think I did. If not, then we're going to be fixing some of the broken up ones. We're not touching it, or alternatively, we may finally get near that. See if it turns out I have put all the sorted minifigures on this. No. I have 3, 2007, 2010, and 2013. No, I don't know who that is. But if it turns out in the last stream, because there's been a couple of streams since we last went over this, if it turns out that all the money, when I say this, so say for example, this Stormtrooper's helmet was off. There's a lot of figures like that with the helmets and stuff have popped off. I've been avoiding doing those. So it turns out all the good minifigures that were ready to go right back on the shelf without any fixing, if I've went through all of those, then we're going to work on this. If I haven't, then we'll do this, but hey look, if we can get on to finally sorting this mess out, That would be really cool, because that's a step closer. Obviously, there's stuff up here I want to completely sort out as well. There's a few things I want to change, but as I said, I've got 16 days for my goal to try and do this, so let's get started. All people ask who the YouTuber is. It's usually on in the background of these. And I dropped the controller. What a surprise! I'm curious, right? Can I check my achievements that I'm getting? Because I've been playing Forza. I ended up going out and buying a Series S just to do it. I'm curious. Well, my Series... Oh yeah, by the way, all the changes that I have made on this, I've come on the Xbox One, which is... I've just noticed that. You know, in case you thought I was one of these observant types. Right, let's have a quick look. Yeah, Forza Horizon 6 shows up. What my next achievement is going to be? Apparently, they're all Forza 5 and 4, the Horizon series ones. The helmet. So, I'll give you a closer look at that helmet. One sec. So, the helmet that you see in the background, a lot of people ask me about this. So, this helmet's not a prop. It's not a fancy helmet or anything like that. This helmet. And you know what? Since I have access to the Switch again. There we go. Got the light on. This helmet is a 2008 Hasbro Talking Controller helmet. This is part of that huge toy push they did in 2008 with, you know, the blasters, the lightsabers, the helmets to celebrate the upcoming Clone Wars movie and TV series. So that's what that is. A lot of people think this is one of the really nice ones. It's not. You can pick this up for maybe 20 or 30 quid. Something a lot of people do point out to me, right, and I am aware of this, there is a helmet version of... There's a version of this helmet that is Captain Rex. Given the name of my channel... And yes, I do keep my PS2 here and I'm not using it. I really should go out and just pick up the Rex one. I will do eventually, because it'd be kind of cool given the name of the channel. But yeah, let's investigate those minifigures and see what they're. But if you have any more questions you want me to answer like that one, I don't mind stopping and showing. So I am here at Indulge. Right, so we've got, just to recap, we've got all the Clone Wars minifigures pretty much. I mean, if I don't do that, they're all pretty much bagged up and ready to go. And I've not... This is off to a great start, if you couldn't tell. Right, one second. I had a piece fly out there. I need to double check what that was. It's apparently a Lego Pirate hat piece. So we're just going to go through this. So if I think I might have actually went through all the ready-to-go minifigures. Something, all the ones that need bits put back on, they're going to get their own stream. I have almost all the figures they made as part of the Clone Wars lineup. I did a series on it, which has to come back. So there's a couple minifigures here to add, but I think we might finally be getting to go on the... Right. Funny you should mention the idea of a tour. So I'm currently prepping the room for a full-length room tour video, which I aim to come out for the 20th of July. So, John Connor, that's when that's happening. And it'll be a good 30-minute long video, because it's more than just what you see behind me. But yeah, so we'll be doing the Corner Ivor shelf in this stream. All right, cool. That actually really sounds good, because I've been wanting to... That does annoy me, the way that sits, and how that's been a neglected shelf. I'll quickly go through all this stuff just to make sure, but... So there is plenty of minifigures here, let me stress that, but these minifigures need helmets, lightsabers, blasters, all that stuff put back onto them. So, with the occasional exception, like, this is one of the guys from the UCS sail barge. I've had to break that set up and put it in storage because it kept collapsing. So it's not a set that you'll see, but it's one of the ones I have. I have put that guy in the Jabba's Palace. That's one of my favourite scenes in Star Wars, as well as in Lego. When I do eventually have the space and the time to do a mock building series, because I have done two previously, I did one in 2018 and one in 2020. The goal for me to build is to build like a full Jabba's Palace with a more accurate interior. But yeah, let's just go make sure for all these minifigures that none of these are good to go. I've got Vader here that should go in the Cloud City scene. This is just your, is it? Yeah, it's a standard one. This is the standard 1999 Vader. So I'll put him up in Cloud City here, just at the doorway where Han and Leia walked in. There might be the occasional figure, because I did throw a few more in the box that I had sitting around that were okay, so if I find them, then we'll just throw them on. But yeah, it's looking like we're finally, and on this Jabba the Hutt here, I've got, this is the 2024 version from this UCS sail barge. Basically, if you've had, one second, what's this message say? I've got, I think, all his versions. My favourite version of Rex, other than the original one from 2008, is his 2015 Endor version. Oh, that's not a train hat. But a lot of people think it's a train hat. Oh, this. I mean, would you call this a train hat? Is that what this is called? This look train enough for you? No. This hat is just one of the hats I wear in work. But yeah, it's like most people on the autism spectrum, because I'm one of those people, I do like trains. But yeah, there's a few figures in here that I am aware of that can go directly on the shelf, like this 212 Clone Trooper here from a couple of years back. That's crazy that next month, that set, the 2022 ATTE, turns 4 years old, because I remember getting so excited for that coming out. It is still a cool set. I don't like it as much as I do the old school Republic stuff, but it is still a pretty damn cool set. A conductor hat. Hey, I wouldn't mind a conductor hat. But no, the room tour video will be coming out this month. These streams are just getting the place ready, because I, back in April, chose to move the whole place around, change it all up. And I am only now finally catching up, getting the place ready, because I've had a lot going on. So, yeah, let's see what we got here. See, most of my content these days ends up, unfortunately, being shorts. So, it's nice to get the streams in when we can. No, guys, this is looking like, it really is looking like we're going to finally get to doing the Ivar corner shelf. What sets did you get? Here's a cool minifigure. Admiral Piet from The Empire Strikes Back. I need to put him somewhere cool. I've got like the Imperial Command stuff on this shelf. It looks brilliant. But yeah, most of my content these days is shorts and streams, but I do upload regular videos, at least try and do them twice a week. But yes, all the figures in this box that will require reassembly, they are going to happen at another time. Here's a cool minifigure, and I've told myself, probably for the last 5 years, to buy more of these, because they look so damn cool, and I hate the new version. 2007 Shadow Trooper. Those are some cool sets. Like, especially, I don't know how long you've been collecting, but see if someone was just getting into the hobby, those would be up there as like the ultimate starter sets that I would say start with if you want to get something cool. I mean, personally, my first Lego set, Star Wars set, was the Battle Packs from 2008. There we go, we've got Tark in there. Once I've done putting on what can go out from here, I will show you how the shelving looks. Because of course. But there's a couple figures on here that couldn't go out previously that now can go out. So you've got to fix this Han Solo here next to the Falcon. But no, I'm just as excited for the room tour as other people are. Because it's one thing we've been talking about in my community on here is, and we're going to talk about this on the TikTok page, which feel free to check that out. There's all the excitement around doing that, because it will be a lot of fun when I finally be able to do that. Who have I got winning the World Cup? Would it shock you to know I've not been following it that much, but I know that, well, hey, I know that Scotland's involved in it because everyone's been going nuts. That'll be the team from my home country, but I'm not actually too sure. I've not really been following it. Like, I'll tell you what, you seem to be no more than me. If you were to put money on it, who would you see doing it? There we go. There's one there. Forlorn. These guys would look better in Jabba's palace, but would that make it look too crowded? To be fair, it's a crowded place in the movie. There we go. That does look good. Nothing there. Oh man, finally get to work on that shelving. And here I was at the start of the stream rambling about Wednesday as a start point. I mean, football's not something I personally follow. I have family members that are really into that, but like for me, it's not an interest. One second, I'll go quickly check out a message. There we go. Sorry, the stream might have glitched a bit there. But let's get through the last of this box, but it doesn't look like we're adding. We've got a Death Star, one of these Imperial troopers here. It's one of those they are the Death Star gunners in the original sets. The original 2008 Death Star. No, wait, that's the second version of the Death Star. There's Hoth Imperial here that we can add. However, I will be putting an Imperial officer in Cloud City just because you do see one there. This other Hoth Imperial can go here leading the snowtroopers. That looks perfect. This Endor Leia. So I already have Leia up on the Endor display, so this one can be in the home one. Since she does wear the Endor garments when she's in the home one, from what I remember. Because you do see a bunch of the Endor troopers dressed up that way. I'm not putting a whole bunch of figures inside that because it's not at the front of my display where you can see it. But no, come 20th, that's the goal. There's a few bits in here, quite a few bits in here I plan to change up and fix by that time, but it's going to be a good video. This year was the first in a long time where I didn't do my favorite minifigure. 2008 Captain Rex would have to be my go-to answer on that one. But another answer that I have that would be the 2012 ARC Trooper. So back to tank injured look. Up there. This Imperial droid. This is one of the more modern ones, and that's from that one's from the 2021 TIE Fighter. I have not seen it yet. It's been out for what, nearly probably closer to 2 months now. I've just not found the time to go watch it. If I'm being honest, at this point, I will probably just watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus. We got Bossk from 2010. That was his original appearance. These bounty hunters that you see in Empire and stuff, I've just been putting them in Jabba's palace just because it seems to make sense. I mean, look, I'm not ruling out the possibility that Bossk, Forlorn, and Zuckuss have been in there. They kind of just fit. Oh, here's a cool one. It's basically a lot of the figures from the Executor Super Star Destroyer, which I've got up the back there. I had a lot of their minifigures grouped together, so it's kind of the ones I'm adding now, like Dengar from that year. 2011 Dengar is probably one of my favourite minifigures as well. For me, in terms of what figures I like the most, it's mostly stuff from, you know, the late 2000s, early 2010s, that era of Lego Star Wars, I've got a lot of nostalgia for. But no, I do plan to see the movie, but probably just when it comes out on Disney Plus. So, like, I am aware of the movie. Like, when I've been going to work and back, I see buses and posters of it still, like, everywhere. So there's a lot of advertising going into it, of course, because, you know, it's a Disney project and it's Star Wars. Right. Let me show you the shelf and how it's looking. So, it's looking really good. Oh yeah, one of the figures I forgot to show you was this. It says custom. It's only five quid. It's not a high-end custom. Star Kilt. Oh, excuse me. But we managed to get quite a few of the figures added. The Jabba's Palace is probably the bit that became the most populated from this. Bosca's around there. Didn't really touch these bottom shelves. But essentially, we now get to focus on this. Finally. I've been waiting to actually make this look decent for a while. And I think this is the one time I also remembered, finally, where I put the thing I use for dusting and cleaning the Legos. Because, well, don't know how well it's popping up on camera, but you need cleaned. So I think I'm going to put you guys at an angle here. Made to fit. Perfect. So, the Falcon up there with the X-Wing, the minifigures, that's staying as is. I like that, and I set that up only a few days ago. These shelves are getting completely stripped, and everything from them is going on the bed. Because it's going to have to make sense that way. But, yeah. There's some cool stuff I've got sitting in here I can show off to you guys. These custom Republic gunship stickers are a good one. Right, I'm mostly taking things out to clean them and possibly change layouts as well. This cup will not be going on the bed because that's just stupid. I will put it over here. That's it. Done. There's a few minifigure related items up here. We've got like, well, some of them are actually worth showing off. We'll just be going in the minifig box though. We're not gonna. I don't know if we'll get onto stuff like that. We've got this custom version of Zero the Hutt. We've got the 2011 Shadow Arth Trooper. Got this ceramic vase that for reasons I'm not going to get into, I'm not just going to throw this one out. I want to fix this. I've had this sitting up here for well over a month. I've just not had the time to do it. I'm going to put this in my glass cabinet because it's like the one place I know if I put it, it'll be safe and not further broken. I bought super glue for this, and I don't know what the hell I did with it. Watch me forget about that, and it shows up in the room tour as a questionable item. That is a very, very real possibility. See if you want to post it in my community tab, we can have a look. That can go. Let's look in these cups. They are going to go on there, just so I know where they are.
Today, I'd like to talk
Right.
about a subject that has caused a lot of
I'll probably put the sets back on this shelf the way that they were, because I do like it. But I got to fix and dust the majority of these. 2009 Clone Wars Y-Wings, a cool set.
Somehow it always does. So let's strap on a helmet and body armor and dive into the subject. There are many reasons for bilingual signage, but the most common reason, as with any signage really, is wayfinding. A key aspect of any transport system is that passengers should know where they are and where to go. This is not only a courtesy to the
But
passengers
yeah,
themselves,
that's all
but
nice.
also
It's one of my
for the
favourite
flow of
sets.
crowds through the station.
One of the only sets I've actually ever picked up at a Comic-Con event as well. You don't find too much good Lego, well, retro Lego at those events.
Pretty simple in language terms. English is by far the most widely spoken language, and indeed, English is widely understood around the world. I've found when visiting cities in Belgium, Hungary, Germany, and the Netherlands, locals tend to slip into English rather than endure my poor and frankly insulting attempts at their own languages.
There we go.
Further, there are many dialects.
Got the two gunships up here that need done as well.
But basically, if you speak English, you can expect to be understood unless you are extremely drunk. There are stations that see high volumes of traffic from other countries whose
And I've broke the front of it. Of course I did.
The most obvious example is international.
So this is the one with the original stickering. I've got the one with the Count Dooku stickering as well.
Here it's possible to get
And something I just realised, and this all being Terra Killer T1, who'd done this, when he was staying, it'd be funny if you're watching this, he has put the Lego Hans Moleman inside the gunship.
But wayfinding at international stations isn't the only reason to include signage.
The eating of an orange is like a lot like a good man. Shut up and eat the damn orange. Great, and I'm saying Hans Moleman quotes on stream.
And include some signage in other languages. Again, at a place like Maritime Greenwich, served by Cutty Sark Station, there are visitors from all over the world.
But yeah, we're going to all cleaned up, all sorted out.
That seem to attract a particularly large number of tourists from one country.
I fear that I shall never see, for my cataracts are blinding me. See, there we go, I'm now seeing his corpse.
That attracts a lot of tourists from China. And therefore,
there is some clone troopers inside this as well. I've just realised. Right, so this gunship is cleaned.
I can't say why, but it is the second largest tourist destination for Chinese tourists after Buckingham Palace. Morton-in-Marsh attracts a lot of Japanese tourists who seek the genteel beauty of the country.
2009 Republic Attack Show.
Had signs in Japanese as well as English. Why these were removed is unknown to me. I just wish they could have waited until after I was done filming. At Whitechapel Station, there's a sign at the entrance which includes the station name in Bengali, and this might be the most controversial station sign in Britain. It's a tribute to the local Bengali community and one of a number of artworks around the station referencing the local area. However, rage-based content creators and certain politicians have used this sign, often with the English writing conveniently cropped out, to prove that immigration is out of control and no one in London speaks English anymore. I am not interested in getting embroiled in culture war debates or discussions about immigration, but I would like to bust a myth here. If this was indeed a sign put in place because no one around here speaks English, we would expect other signage around the station to also be in Bengali. But it isn't. So regardless of your opinion on these matters, anyone who uses this sign as evidence that London has...
There's a bit on the back of this that I need to repair, but there is a... It's probably why we're not going to throw the Clone Wars figures on. I don't think I'm going to. But they're... Did I just... That just shot out a flick-fire missile.
For centuries, for the simple reason that this was the poor part of the city. So bilingual signs at Whitechapel Station prove nothing.
I just did that again. So apparently, cleaning it sets off the flick-fire missiles.
Let us consider the case of the London and North Western Railway, which was an English company that ran into North Wales. They owned the line out of Euston, but they have no relation to the current train operating company known as London and North Western Railway. That's just that stolen valor thing that modern train operating companies use.
Clean.
The old LNWR caused a lot of friction in Wales back in the 1890s due to an unwillingness to hire people who spoke Welsh.
And
a lot of people back then. And conversely, they often allocated staff to the area who didn't speak any Welsh at all. The matter was brought in front of Parliament in 1895 by no less a figure than the MP for Carnarvon, ardent Welsh nationalist, and future Prime Minister David Lloyd George.
I do need to fix. That's my second gunship with the custom stickers on it.
People
The last thing we got to clean that's sitting up here is the dropship.
With the LNWR, English companies operating in Wales didn't necessarily feel the need to fit in with the locals. There was even a fear that the language would die out, with a catastrophic effect on Welsh culture. The second half of the 20th century saw a concerted effort to increase the number of Welsh speakers, which has paid off. Reflecting this,
There we go.
stations served by Transport for Wales have signs in both.
You guys don't know how happy I am that we're finally getting some of the other shelves sorted. Because the last couple of months, this has not felt like my space, because I've not been able to have all the sets the way I would like them to be.
Speaks French and Dutch, although English and German are also widely spoken. I mean, it's the headquarters of the EU. I dare say you could run into dozens of languages if you kept an ear open. But anyway,
Right.
French and Dutch
So,
are the big two.
let's keep going. I don't want to stop now, especially not now. We're progressing really well. Which means I can actually now feature this stuff in my shorts rather than the same shelves we always do.
In French and Dutch, unless there's a specific reason not to. For instance, Montgomery is named after Field Marshal Montgomery, whose name is the same whatever language you speak. But for other stations,
right, let's get the attack, the T6 shuttle cleaned.
The station names will be displayed at the same level.
Hey, how's it going?
With an equal number of times. The map shows both station names, but it will alternate which language comes first. There is one station that proved particularly controversial. The station was originally called Cranham.
Sorted.
There is a municipality named Cranham that is majority Flemish speaking, but which was made in 1954 to...
Got one of the many vehicles, oh, hair's in the way, from Lego Pharaoh's Quest. We'll give that a quick clean.
The thing, Cranham Station does not serve the municipality of Cranham.
That will not be able to fit on the Tatooine display.
Avenue de Cranham.
There we go.
The Cranham part of
2013 ATRT from that one set with Yoda and the Sniper Droid.
French speakers in Brussels.
I went through a phase of buying nothing but Clone Wars sets last year.
French speakers, and therefore the station gained a French translation. Cranham, the same thing but spelt Frenchly. I don't know why they didn't just go with Cranham/Avenue de Cranham, but it goes to show just how seriously questions of language are taken in this city. Now, this is just
right.
Many
but yeah,
around
we're not even an hour in and the progress has been brilliant, so I'm just going to keep going.
Just a smattering of the languages.
Clean.
Is a small part of a much larger discussion.
I will not be pulling the separatist stuff off right now. That I will have to figure out, because that shelf there is all your separatist stuff, Hondo's tank, all that kind of stuff.
Used to bring people together rather than tear them apart. Well, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do leave a like and consider subscribing for more. I would like, as ever, to thank my donors on Ko-fi, on Patreon, and here on YouTube for your generous support. You are the Latin station sign to my lost Roman. And I will see you all again very soon. Cheerio.
One of my favourite sets, the 2012 CC-10 Starfighter. Right, what else have we got? With some slight damage to it, so I'm hoping the piece for it is there, or maybe it's in the bag. This is a Ahsoka Starfighter from last year. From when we occasionally get a random Clone Wars set we never got in the original lineup. Yeah, the parts from this will be in the bag. Full fix this here. This is the ARC 170 from last year.
The Overground is one of the great 21st century success stories of London's transport network.
Up here. 2007 UCS Falcon.
Suburbs that had hitherto been very poorly served, but its roots go back much further. I'm here to talk about a very similar project that was proposed all the way back in 1973. Well, similar apart from the plan to move Clapham Junction, and the monorails, and the international station at Gospelow.
Sorted.
And
right.
now let's just get into it. I'm here to talk about Ringrail. About 2 years ago, I bought this very expensive book, and then I never did anything with it. So here we go. The book is a new ring rail for London. I rather like this cool logo they came up with. Ringrail was an unofficial proposal put forward by G.L. Crowther, P.H. Vickers and A.D. Pilling to build a new orbital railway. Now, I have referred to this as an early version of the Overground.
This is the V19 from last year.
Was made in a rather different
I did buy quite a few sets from last year. I've not. The only 2026 Star Wars set I picked up was a battle pack. There's not been a lot that's interested in this year. Here's an old set, the 2008 Twilight.
Trains drooled. I'm paraphrasing that. Several cities seem to play with this concept around this time. You may recall in a recent video that I talked about Amsterdam trying to do something similar. Naturally, the ringways attracted a lot of opposition, and only a handful of the proposals actually got built. But that was the background against which Ringrail was put forward, as a public transport alternative to a highly divisive road proposal. Basically, the thing was that London had a lot of rail routes that were underused or even abandoned. Even now, we haven't exploited all of them. And several of these motorways would have been running alongside existing railways, which had a very poor service. So the reasoning was, wouldn't it be simpler to just upgrade the railways? It would cost a fraction of the motorways, would require relatively little in terms of demolition and construction, and
Sorted. I've had that set for years. I think these are the last two we're going to take off from this shelf. Or in general, I don't know if we're doing the separatist stuff. I've not decided yet.
The comparison made in the report is that the average car at the time used 40 horsepower to transport one person, whereas a train used 2.5 horsepower per person. It's pretty mind-boggling to think of it that way. They envisaged joining 3 rather quiet, rather poorly used lines together.
And this set is full of those 2012 ARF Troopers.
Ringrail.
That's one of my favourite clone trooper designs.
Pilling were not the first to come up with this. The MP for Acton, Nigel Spearing, had been making similar proposals since 1965.
I'll put that up there for now, but that's it clean. Yep, and the last set that's on here is one of my favourite ones ever made. The 2010 Clone Turbo Tank. Right, let's get this one clean.
We'll just call them and their associates the Ringrail Group for now. Were what we might term enthusiastic amateurs, academics rather than railway insiders. And by their own admission, they didn't have the background to carry out the kinds of studies that British Rail or the GLC did. Their proposal was this. The line would use the old West London line from
right.
Some
apart from smashing its back wheels off, that was smart.
West Brompton, which at the time was only an underground station.
So I'd slide the back, that end of that on there.
Next, a new station, Earl's Court West. This would have been an interchange with the district branch to Ealing Broadway and Richmond. The Ringrail proposal would have involved closing the branch of the North London line from Willesden Junction to Richmond, so
while the turbo tank there,
it would also have connected with the Piccadilly line, which at the time was being extended.
I'll have the ATOT over this way.
Shepherd's Bush, which again exists now but did not exist at the time. Shepherd's Bush sits, and presumably would have sat in this version, on the site of the abandoned Uxbridge Road station. Then there was White City, which the report vaguely suggests might have interchange with Latimer Road station on the Hammersmith and City line. Wood Lane station didn't exist back then. Next, a completely new station called Mitre Bridge, where the station crossed the Great Western Main Line out of Paddington. There actually
there we go,
Mitre
sorted.
Bridge station in the 1840s that fulfilled much the same function, but the West London line took a different route. Then we come to Willesden Junction. The big difference between Willesden Junction Ringrail and Willesden Junction Overground was that the West Coast Main Line platforms at Willesden, which were removed in 1962...
Right, so we've got to start. This top shelf will kind of stay relatively the same. I'll have the dropship up there as well. Because that's for the gunship either. Apart from when I hit it off things, I'll fix it in a moment. It's a solid looking display.
There were other proposals for a third airport, and the most expensive and most interesting, in my opinion, was an airport known as Maplin, which would have been built on reclaimed land in the Thames estuary. Prior to 1972, this would have been known as Foulness, which is an awful thing to call an airport. Anyway, this was basically at the bottom of the list.
There we go, dropship sorted.
Weren't aware of this when they suggested that Gospel Oak could provide interchange for the airport, possibly including customs. The existing Gospel Oak might have been closed and replaced with a station slightly to the south to be named South Gospel Oak. How do they come up with these things? Next would have been Camden Town. And this is
Right,
quite
so
interesting
gunships
because it would
will
have
throw back up where they were. That just makes sense.
God only knows how much this would have cost, but there is a certain sense to it. Camden Town Station has long been a complicated junction station and gets overcrowded. There have been
Got the
many
other one.
proposals to rebuild it, but this one suggests completely resiting it somewhere near Camden Road Station.
But no, this will look a lot better. This shelf has admittedly just been neglected over the last few months, but finally gonna have it looking good. And if I can get this, the Republic's side of this done tonight, and then I can possibly throw in the separatist stuff tomorrow, because I should be home at like, what, 8 tomorrow? Like, that'll be a solid amount of time to work on the separatist stuff, because I need to think about how I want to do that. But you can see the vision already.
Highbury and Islington, Hackney Downs, and Stratford. Stratford is another station they proposed might be an international terminus for services to Maplin Airport, but like all
I'm thinking.
international stations in Stratford, this one didn't work out. So far, we've more or less followed the route of the overground, plus or minus a few stations. But here, we divert from the line.
So I think the Twilight's gonna have to sit at the very back of this shelf. I don't. It's one of those sets that is slightly awkward for display, and it also just likes to smack other. I am not great at this, am I?
Instead, from Stratford, it follows what's now part of the Docklands Light Railway to Canning Town. Back then, this was still part of the North London line. Next,
Obviously, like once I get in there with the camera and stuff in the room tour, it'll be visible, but it's not going to be one of the ones that's like a focal point of my display.
It would have been on there. It's not clear what would have happened to the
There we go. That looks good. I can have some of the smaller stuff in front of it as well.
And yet the only completely new section of line, in the form of a tunnel under the Thames from West Ham to West Coombe Park.
So if I move those closer, I can have the starfighters in between the gunship and the dropship, and I can have two sets either side. There we go. That's using the space. Because the Clone Wars one, right, I do expect to look a bit crowded. That's kind of a given.
This report believes that the most likely site for the international rail terminal would have been Surrey Docks. Therefore, St John's would provide interchange with trains running to meet the Channel Tunnel. Here, there's a bit of a problem, acknowledged in the report. The lines so far have been underused, but the line between Blackheath and St John's...
We're going to put the Y line there again, because that just looks right. We'll take the Republic. I forgot you can't lift that set from that bit. I'm an idiot. Wow.
Line from New Cross to Dartford, and this is kind of crazy. The Fleet line was what became the Jubilee line, and back then was under construction. One proposal was that it would extend from Charing Cross through the Docklands
I'm just going to fix this
to
slightly.
the East London line. And that's what the Ring Rail group are seemingly counting on here. I feel like maybe there's a separate video in this.
There we go. So we can put that on this side.
Another of those busy and problematic sections of track. Still, as possible relief, they note that the Bakerloo line will be there in 1975, which was optimistic. I mean, we're still waiting for the Bakerloo line to be extended, and it's over 50 years later. From here, we're back on the South London line.
I could rather be this one than the main one you see.
There's a station that appears on the map as East Brixton. If you've been watching this channel, you'll know that there is an abandoned station called East Brixton, and there have been proposals to put it on the overground, but that's not what we have here. The station
I'll pull this out.
Is
Slide this one in the back.
Why don't they just call it Loughborough Junction? Well, I don't know. Then
Put
we
this
have
over
Clapham,
here.
which, as far as I can tell, is just Clapham High Street with a new.
This is looking great. What do you guys think? I think this looks good.
Clapham North on the underground. And finally, we have Clapham Junction.
The Freco Speeder will unfortunately get sandwiched in with the lesser cool sets. That's kind of what this kind of area is, but no, I don't mean it's the stuff that you can't see that's blocked. Basically, it's cool sets, but they're not as cool as the stuff that's in front of
The
them.
authors refer to it as a rewarding challenge for architects, which is one way of putting it. It would require the main lines to be widened.
And the last set that I have, just making sure it is, yes,
A lot of demolition.
2013 ATRT.
Mentioned are the main ones on the route. There are several others. 3 proposals are made for these. One has it that they'd stay open and operate much as they do today, with the exception of Lewisham, which they deem to be too close to St John's and therefore they propose closing. Proposal 2 suggests that everything would close apart from the interchange stations. For the stations in between, there would be bus routes or possibly cab tracks. More on that in a bit. Proposal 3 would have trains calling at all.
Right, just going to organise a few things, but I think the shelves look great.
Intermediate stations. The stations would have been 2 platform affairs with a consistent numbering system. Platform 1 clockwise, platform 2 anti-clockwise. As for the trains themselves, they suggest third rail electrification with trains that have sliding
Fixing this
doors.
box set. I've got here a co-worker lent me the Game of Thrones box set. I've watched quite a fair bit of it. It's a good series. I get why it's liked. Or really liked, rather. I probably just peed off a whole community, you know?
Never caught on in this country. The final report talks about air-conditioned, soundproof intercity carriages, which I assume is a leftover from the gas turbine train concept. Oh, and believe it or not, they do give serious consideration to the idea of a hover train, which, if you're new around here, was this concept for a kind of hovercraft monorail that was in development at the time.
Right, so that's that done. I'm going to get a drink, okay? And then I'm going to decide if this stream is going to go forward. So, to be honest, I got more than I thought I'd get done within less than an hour. So, and to be honest, this, to me, and the minifigure stuff is quite good. One moment. Right, so here is the verdict on whether or not the stream is going to continue. I'm going to have a look at the separatist shelf, but that has a lot of stuff that needs figuring out. Because there's a lot of stuff in there I got to go through, reorganize, and fix. I think that's probably going to be its own stream. What time is it? That's kind of the deciding factor. I tell you what, right? We'll finish off for tonight. It's been a really good stream. I managed to get a lot done. Let me show you what we managed to get done. Right. So also we managed to get quite a lot more of the figures thrown on this. And you know, finally got the Republic shelf not full of junk. It actually has the sets on it organized. Same with this one. I even got the torch to show you in the back of that one. Sorted. This shelf will require a lot of fixing and reorganizing. We're not going to do that tonight, but we're going to do it tomorrow. And then from there, we'll maybe give that another quick reorganize. It's a bit more messy since I recently got that Series S and I've put the box for it there. And I would also like to possibly go over this and change all that up. But this and that, we're on the ball with this. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's stream. We'll try and get a couple more shorts out tonight. See you guys later on.